Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know, I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Today's card is a peekaboo card. So look at this, it's a nice, cool, fun fold card. So we're going to learn how to make this. Now you say, well, where do you put your, to and from and all that stuff? Well, I also made it so you can put whatever you want to write on the back here as well. So I made two cards. I made this one first and I wasn't sure what I thought about it, and I walked away and I came back and I thought, oh, actually I really liked it. But I did make this one because I thought, well, maybe this DS paper was too busy, but now I kind of like it being busy. So then I did this one here, and just a little different, and we're going to go ahead and do this one today. But this one, the only difference is I used Peaceful Moments for the sentiments, and then also the ribbon is the new 2020-2022 in color ribbon, the pink one, and these really pretty loose flower embellishments, which I put right there. So, and it's the same DS paper, and I used the Daffodil Delight instead. So let's go ahead and make this one. So I'm going to do it a little different today. I'm going to have you cut all the pieces first, because there are lots of little pieces, and then we're going to put it together. So as you can tell, this opens and it changes the picture from that to your sentiment. And then of course there's a third piece. And originally there wasn't a piece here, but what happens if you don't put this piece here, this flap gets in the way and it'll hang up when you try to open it. So I thought, well, I'll put another piece here and then I'll put a spot so you can put whatever message you want to put in. So kind of kills two birds with one stone. And it is probably a really good idea to get a cutter like Stampin' Up's here that has both a scoring and a cutting blade, and of course this arm comes out. So this is really, it saves you a lot of time if you have one of these. And go ahead, and if you click in the body of my video, there is a direct store to Stampin' Up. You can place orders for anything you see here. And also don't forget, I give away the demo card, and we're going to have 3 demo cards today. We're going to have 2 of these and this one as well, because I don't keep my demo cards. So let's start with the pieces here. And we're going to start with black, and we're going to do the base, the inside piece, and the back flap. And this is what I'm calling the base, which is the front part here. This paper, and I'm going to put all the dimensions in the body of my video, so don't worry about writing it down now. Just go to my video, you'll see all the dimensions there. And if you, like I said, if you want to place an order, all the contents of this card will be linked. All you do is click on the link. It's a bit.ly link, and it goes right to my Stampin' Up direct site, so you can go ahead and purchase it. So this piece of paper is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then on this long side here, you're gonna score 2 3/4 inch. So I've scored that already. So it's going to look like this, and take a nice bone folder and do a nice little crease on it. And at this point it doesn't matter which way it is, because we haven't put anything together yet. So 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 scored at 2 3/4 inch. The inside piece, which is this piece here, is just like a normal card. You're going to have this 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just like a normal card base. So you're going to do that and also do it in black. The third of the base pieces is this one here, and this is going to be cut 5 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then you're going to take your score and you're going to score it at 5 1/2. So you're going to have this 1/4 of an inch little fold right here. So you're going to do that, and also in black. Next, you're going to pick out some DS paper. Now, I'm using hand penned, and hand penned is from the new 2021-2022 catalog. If you don't have a catalog, write me a message in my comments there, and I will get one out for you. That's perfectly doable. Okay, so I'm going to take this hand penned, and I'm going to cut one of these pieces 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And since it's square, I don't have to worry about it being upside down or anything, because it definitely has an up and a down on this particular pattern. So that's one. And then you're going to cut 2 more pieces. Now this is the part where you have to make sure you've got the orientation going the correct way. So you're going to cut 2 of these, and they're going to be 4 by 5 1/4. The 4 part is the part that's going up and down. So when you're cutting it, I hate when I do it the opposite way and it's like, oh, now they're going sideways. So make sure you got them going the right direction. So 2 of those. Now let's go over what stamp sets we're actually using. We're going to be using the Sentiment from Flowers of Friendship, just this one right here. And then of course, hand penned Petals. And on this card, we're using this one. On the other one, I used the other flower here. So we're going to be using this flower here and the thanks. Also the die from Penned Flowers. And we're going to be using the big one, just the outline one. From Hippo and Friends, we're going to use the 2 smallest dies from this one here for the Sentiment. And then for these windows, we're using rectangle stitched frames, and we're going to be using the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rectangle from the big one here. So let's put the smallest one to the side and the biggest one to the side, and let's talk about the middle one. So this would be the 4th smallest one. So with the 4th smallest one, you're going to take a piece of Misty Moonlight and cut one of these. Then you're going to take the Pale Papaya, which is one of the new colors, and you're going to cut one of these. Then you're going to take a small one and you're going to cut a white one of these. And then you're going to take the middle one and the biggest one, and you're going to tape them together like so on your die cutting machine, and you're going to make 3 frames in Misty Moonlight. So tape that together, put it on your plate, tape it down to the plate, and run it through 3 times, and you'll get these. Now with Hippo and Friends, you want to take the smallest die and cut it in white, and the 2nd smallest die and cut it in the Misty Moonlight. I'm also using this edging piece from Penned Flowers on the inside here, and go ahead and cut a strip from the Misty Moonlight and cut off 2 1/8 of length. And then when you cut it down the side, because what happens, this will not cut one side, and go ahead and put it on your trimmer and get it all the way to the edge of where it cuts. And really, you can take that dotted line and line it up with this piece here and slice it, and you'll get this this width. And then, like I said, you cut these 2 1/8 inch, so you got 2 of those. And the only other thing we're going to be cutting is obviously the flower here, but we need to stamp it first and color it, but you're going to be using the outline die for that, but we'll do that later. Now let's start putting things together. Now we're going to take what I call the base piece, and that is the one that was 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, the first one we did, and you folded it, right? And you're going to take your DS paper and make sure you got it going the right direction, and go ahead and snail it to the front with the flap underneath. So the flap's underneath, and here we go, and make sure that you got it going the right direction, and just put it in the middle like so. So I am a liar. We are going to continue to cut because obviously we have to cut the window. So we're going to take that 4th rectangle stitched frame, and we're going to take that piece that you just did and turn it over. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this window and pull it all the way to where this flap is done. Maybe just a scooch, that's a real technical term, a scooch to the left, but pretty much up against it and right in the middle. Now, I always eyeball things. I'd rather eyeball it than measure it. And I'm going to take my delicate painter's tape, my frog tape. I love this stuff, the yellow delicate painter's tape. And I am going to tape these inside, and I'm going to run this through the die cutter. Now, when I'm running this through the die cutter, it's going to be like this. So your DS paper is on the bottom. If you use a bottom plate that's really scratched up, it will scratch this DS paper. So if you have another plate that's not really all scratched up, put that one on the bottom, or take the usual plates you use and flip them. So the top plate is your bottom plate and the bottom plate is now your top plate, because usually your top plate isn't so scratched up. So you just don't want to scratch this up. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the die cutter, and I'll be right back. So I ran it through the die cutter, and I actually did run it through like 4 times, because we are cutting through not only the basic black, we're also cutting through the DS. So I cut that, and I treated myself to a brand new plate because I just did not want this to get scratched up. This one, when I did it, I scratched it a little bit, and I can tell, probably can't tell on the camera, but this is my normal bottom plate. So I treated myself to a new one, and you can see the cut there because it was face down. So that just pops out like that, and take your die off. Now you're going to grab the inside part that looks like a normal card base, right? And take your DS paper again. Now this DS paper, we've already cut it. It's the one that is 4 by 5 1/4. We did that earlier. And snail it up and put it right there in the middle. Make sure you got it going the right side up. If you chose a paper that has an up and a down. Okay, and then go ahead and do the other side as well. And put it right in the middle. Make sure your edges all are the same. And there you go. So now we've got these 2 pieces. We're going to take the inside piece and fold it over. We're going to take the base piece, the top piece, and we're going to put it, and we're going to line it up to the edge. So it won't go to the end here, but it's lined up to the edge there. And you're going to hold that down, and you're going to take a pencil, and you're going to draw the rectangle through. Okay, lift that up, and you're going to grab that same die that you used to cut everything, and you're going to line it up. Now the cutting edge on this die is in the middle. Keep that in mind, because there's a little tiny bit of guessing work here, but I think the frames on these windows are going to help us with that. Plus we're going to do another little trick. So try to line that up as much as you can and tape it down and run it through your die cutter. When you run it through your die cutter, open this up. Don't leave this closed and run it through. You got to open it up, now run it through the die cutter. So I've run it through the die cutter, and I'm going to take off my tape very gently. Not that this part will show, but it's good practice just to, do it gently. And you're going to take your piece, and these pieces you can put to the side and use them on something else. We're not going to use them. So we've got this. Now we're going to take this piece and close it up. I'm going to take that pencil again, and we're going to draw in the window. Now this piece is going to be facing up, so I don't have to worry about having a clean plate on the bottom, but you definitely don't want a scratchy plate so it doesn't scratch you up. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to line this up again and run it through the die cutter. So I ran it through, and I did run it through a bunch of times because we're cutting through multiple pieces, and now we've got our windows. Now grab your base piece again and the folded end, and you're going to snail this part of your card. Now make sure that you're going the right direction. So this is going right side up. If it was like this, it would be upside down. So make sure that I am snailing the correct side. And I'm going to snail that, and then I'm going to take this base piece and I'm going to line this up. Now I might have to stick my head in the camera, so hold on. And it might even help if you've got, I don't know what colors you're going to use, if you're going to use my colors or not, but grab a piece of scratch paper. For me, I'm going to grab white, and I'm going to put that base down. Now this is, it looks like this. So here's your DS paper, here's that flap, here's the right side up, and then we're going to match it. And that white piece of paper is just going to help me make sure I'm as precise as I can be. Okay, so now it looks like this. So here's the flap, here's the inside, here's the flap. Now you're going to get that third piece, the one that is the 5 3/4 by 5 1/2, and then you folded just that 1/4 inch on the 5 3/4 sides back. So you're going to take that and you're going to take some tear tape, and you're going to get a piece as long as that, and we are going to lay that down, and it's about the right width anyway. Lay that down, and if you have a little that you didn't get, go ahead and after you lay it down, take the paper off and then kind of fold these over. I always like to fold them on themselves. And then take another piece of tape and cover that last little bit. And then take the paper off. Don't forget, if you are and it's for first-time subscribers for the demo cards. I forgot to mention that. So only first-time subscribers. I need a bunch of watch hours if anybody can turn me on and just leave me on forever. I'm like really close to being monetized with YouTube, and their requirement is like ridiculous. So anyway, so first-time subscriber, put a comment in my video and say I'm a first-time subscriber, and put your email. I can't talk to you without your email, and I'll let you know if you won one of the 3 demo cards. Anyway, back to the card. So here we've got our tape on this piece. We're going to fold it like that, and we're going to place it on the other side. So this is the front, this is the inside here. We're going to close that. Here's that flappy part, and we're going to line it up with the card. I'm going to grab that piece of paper again so I can really see it. And it's tear tape, so it's not as forgiving as snail, and hopefully get it on there perfectly. So it's going to look like this, and let me put it up like so. So that's what you've got. Here is the front, here's the inside, and here's the back. So it looks like so. Now we're going to go ahead and stamp the flower. You know what's funny? I finished this video at this point, and my video turned off. So I'm actually doing this card from this point forward. Lucky me. I don't know what happened, but it's like, no. So anyway, let's go ahead and stamp. This is just memento, and we're doing the big flower, not the little one. So not this one, we're doing this one right here. And this stamp's really nice. So look at that. Now we're going to go ahead and color the leaves first. Now, when I first got the new colors, and it's soft succulent and evening evergreen, I thought, why are they giving us more greens? I don't understand. And actually, these are beautiful colors. In fact, I'm going to use the Stampin' Right color, and you can buy the new Stampin' Right colors by themselves. And I actually really like buying the Stampin' Rights because the tip on here is really thin, and when I want to be a little more precise, because I'm going to take this evening evergreen and just do the outline of the leaf, and it's nice and thin and precise. And then I'm going to go in with the light evening evergreen, not the dark, and on the pointy side, and just give it some shadow on the outline like so. And then I'm going to take the light soft succulent and I'm going to fill it in, and it really makes this beautiful leaf color. I mean, that's really nice. So if you want to do leaves, it is definitely soft succulent and the evening evergreen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of the leaves, and I'll be right back. So there are the leaves, and now for the flowers, I'm going to take my dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to put the middle and the two big flowers here, and we're going to color these in the pale papaya. And I'm going to take the dark pale papaya and do the middle of the small ones here. And then I'm going to take the dark pale papaya and I'm going to color these two big flowers. So I'm going to do the same thing like I did on the leaves, except I'm not going to use the Stampin' Right to etch them because these are just bigger. So I'm just going to outline the flower in the dark pale papaya, and then I'll follow up with the light one in a moment. Now I've outlined in the dark. Now I'm going to go in with the light pale papaya. So now that my camera decided to shut off halfway through a video, don't forget that I give away the demo cards. So there are 3 cards to be given away, and just put in my comments on my video that you are a first-time subscriber. Leave your email address so I can contact you, and I'll mail those out. So there's the 2 big flowers, and now I'm going to do the small ones. I'm going to take the dark Daffodil Delight and outline the flowers first. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. And then I'm just going to fill these in with the light Daffodil Delight, and I'll be right back. So isn't that pretty? I just really love those green leaves. So now we're going to take the outline of the flower from the dies and grab a couple of pieces of tape and tape them down and die cut this. Now you're going to take another piece of Night of Navy and snail the back of your flower and just put it on there like so. And then you're going to take that 4th rectangle die again, the one that we've used throughout, and we're going to tape this down and decide what to cut off because it won't all fit in there. So what I did on this card here is I made sure I've got the top and the bottom of these leaves, and I went to about let's see, about here and right here. So once you got a spot where you like it, go ahead and tape it down and run it through the die cutter. And here's the cut. Now I ran it through a few times because you have to go through that die cut and the paper. So just slowly take that tape off, and this is what you're going to get. Now, because my video stopped in mid-video, I can't remember if I told you this or not, but okay, so you've got your card here, because I don't think we've done this part yet. And what we're going to do is while it's closed, you're going to take a pencil and you're going to go inside of the rectangle here, and you're going to trace the rectangle like that. Then you're going to open it up, and you're going to take your pencil and draw inside there too. You can see where I took it off because I had to start the card over. So do those 2 steps. Now we're going to go ahead and affix this within the card. So the part that is exposed when it's closed is actually this part here. So the very back flap. So just lift that up, and we're going to snail it, and you're going to fit it right within that rectangle you just drew, like so. And then close this back up and see how that's exposed when it's like that. And now we're going to do the part that's here. So you've got these 2 pieces that we cut before. All you do is snail them up, and you're going to put one on the top and one on the bottom. So I really like this little die because it had the stitching just like the stitching on the rectangle here, on the rectangle stitched frames, and you just go in like so. And then we're going to snail this up, and the piece that is exposed when it's open is this one here. So it's like really the front flap, and you got to make sure that you got it going the right way, but put it within the rectangle you also traced like so. and close it up. And here we go, just like that. So when I was making this card, I noticed when I opened up this door that it would like stick on this card because it's not a, you know, it's not completely smooth. So what I did is I took and I went ahead and I've already put these two pieces together because I've already done the card because my video conked out. But go ahead and snail those two pieces together that we cut earlier in the beginning of the video and take it on that back flap here and put it right next to this one. Now this serves two purposes. One, so when this flap goes across, it doesn't hang up on it, but it's also a place for you to write, you know, who the card is from, or if you want to add anything special. So it has kind of a double purpose there. So that's that step. Now we need to put on the window etchings here that we cut earlier. Now, it's now the next day. My phone decided to shut off again. Apparently, my memory in my new phone is less than my old phone. So that's awesome. So I pulled this card apart again. It's awful. Anyway, so you take these that you cut earlier in the video, thankfully, and go ahead and put them around each one of the openings here. So I'm going to line these up and put them on, and I'll be right back. Now, if you can see any bits of the DS paper popping through, just take your Misty Moonlight blending pen and just grab the DS paper only and just turn that little edge into blue so you don't see it, and just fix it like that. I also fixed the tag. I put the two pieces that we cut earlier. I put this up on dimensionals and just snailed it to the card. And now we're going to put on the ladybugs, and these are so cute. Aren't these just the cutest little trinkets? They're so adorable, and there's so many flowers that you can use this on a bunch of cards. So go ahead and take your glue dots here, and you take your pick tool and just grab a glue dot off. And I'm going to put one on the back of this guy here and put him right there, approaching a little flower. And then grab another one, and I'm going to put him here on the bottom in this flower. So cute. Now we're not done, because guess what? This is like a little over 5.5 by 5.5 card. So even though the card's done and it looks just totally awesome, we need to make an envelope. So let me show you how to do that. So I have this little device here to make envelopes, and you can get these at any big box store. And what you do is you look for the size of your card, and like ours is like a little over 5.5. So we're going to do the 6 by 6 envelope, and it tells you here that what you need to do is take a piece of paper and cut it 9.5 by 9.5, which I've done here. And Stampin' Up does sell 12 by 12 white paper. And then this measurement says score line is 4 3/4. So this is the score line up here. So we're going to take our piece, and it's already cut 9.5 by 9.5, and go to 4 3/4. And what we're going to do is we're going to punch it, and then on the first line there's a line right here to score, and you score it with their little piece that they gave you here. And then you're going to turn it counterclockwise, and you're going to line up this little doohickey here with the score line, and then you're going to punch it again, and then you're going to take that knife again, and you're going to do that, score it, and turn it again, match it up to the 4 3/4, punch it and score it, and turn it again, match that piece up to there, punch it and score it. And then you're going to turn it around, and this end will take off those corners. It'll round them up for you, and do it to all 4. Okay, so you've got a piece like this, and you're going to take those score lines and just score them up with your little tool here. Do all 4 sides. Then you're going to grab your tear tape, the Stampin' Up! Tear tape, and you're going to grab a piece this long, and you're just going to put it on one of the ends here, and then take another one for the other side. And before you take that one and put it on, take the tape off of that, and then do this side. And take the tape off of here. And then I'm going to fold this in. I'll give it another little nice score. Pull this in, give it a nice little score, and put this on top. And that tear tape should hold it down. Don't use snail, it's not strong enough. And then you can take your card and it fits right in. Now you'll probably have to put a couple of stamps on it because one stamp won't be enough. And then right before you mail it, you could take these off, but I'm just going to put these on for now, and until I mail it, I'll just leave the tape on it. And that is the envelope. So if you like the card, please put like and subscribe, and if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in my comments, and maybe you'll win the demo card. So that'll do it for me. Thanks, bye.